Listen to me. I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how smart you are. I don't even care how many degrees you got. If you're not hungry, you will be passed by someone who is. You know what the problem is with most people? You get a little success and you get satisfied. You get a little bit of applause and you slow down. But the greats, the legends, they stay hungry. Michael Jordan, hungry. Kobe Bryant, hungry. Oprah, hungry. Every single day they woke up like they haven't won in yet. You think you've arrived? You think just because you made it to college, got a job, or started a business that you can relax now? No, stay hungry, stay grinding, stay moving forward. When I was homeless, I was hungry, not just for food, but for success, for greatness. And I didn't stop when I got a job. I didn't stop when I got my PhD. I stayed hungry. Because hunger is what separates average from phenomenal. Hunger makes you run when others walk. Hunger makes you study when others sleep. Hunger makes you show up when nobody else does. So here's the truth. If you want to live your dream, not just chase it, and stay hungry. You wake up every morning with a choice. You can be average or you can be phenomenal. That's the decision. And let me tell you something. Average is easy. Average is comfortable. It doesn't ask much of you. It lets you coast. It lets you sleep in. It lets you binge on distraction, waste time, make excuses. Average is where most people live. And that's why it's so dangerous, because it feels normal. It feels okay. But I'm here to tell you, average is not okay. Average is the enemy. Average is the silent killer of dreams. You weren't created to be average. You weren't born to just pay bills and die. You have something inside you that was meant to shine, to build, to grow, to inspire. But the world is going to tell you to tone it down, play it safe, take it easy. And before you know it, you're living a life of routine, not purpose. A life of survival, not significance. Some of you got a gift, a dream, a vision, but you're not it. Why? Because you're afraid of failing. Afraid of what people will say. Listen to me. Failure isn't what stops you. It's comfort. It's mediocrity. It's the voice in your head that says, this is good enough. But good enough is not good enough if you were made for greatness. You have to want more. I mean, really want it. You have to be willing to do more, be more, give more, sacrifice more. You can't want it bad and then act lazy. You can't talk about dreams but live with average effort. Your actions must align with your vision. You've got to stop saying you want to be successful and start living like you're obsessed with it. When you look at people who make history, who change industries, who leave legacies, they were never okay with being average. They didn't want what everyone else had. They wanted more. They demanded more of themselves. They trained while others slept. They learned while others wasted time. They gave everything to be everything. That's what hunger looks like. That's what drive looks like. You see, average people want extraordinary results, but they aren't willing to put in extraordinary effort. They want the lifestyle without the lifestyle change. They want success without the sacrifice, but it doesn't work like that. Success is rented, and the rent is due every single day. If you're not paying the rent with your discipline, your hustle, your focus, your grind, then don't expect to collect the reward. Some of you are trapped in average, not because you lack talent, but because you lack commitment. You have moments of motivation, but not habits of discipline. You say, I'll start tomorrow, and you've been saying that for years. But there is no tomorrow. There is only now. What you do now is who you become tomorrow. If you want to be great, you've got to kill average every day. You've got to wake up like you've got something to prove. You've got to show up like someone's trying to take what's yours. You've got to train like you're fighting for your life. Because in a way you are. You're fighting for the life you want versus the life that will happen by default. And default isn't beautiful. Default is stress. Default is regret. Default is missed opportunities. But when you grind, when you sacrifice, when you commit, you create, you build, you design a life that reflects your vision, not your fears. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to come from money. You don't have to have a perfect past. But you do have to be relentless. You do have to be consistent. You do have to outwork and outlast. The world will not hand you your dream. It will hand you obstacles, setbacks, and distractions. It will hand you doubt and fear. But your job is not to fold, it's to rise. Your job is not to complain, it's to fight. And listen, this isn't about being better than anyone else. It's about being better than who you were yesterday. It's about refusing to settle for anything less than your potential. It's about living in such a way that when your time on this earth is over, you don't look back with regret. You look back with pride, knowing you gave it everything. So don't play small. Don't shrink yourself to fit into a world that needs your greatness. Don't pretend you're satisfied when you know you got more in you. Stop accepting crumbs when you were meant for the whole feast. Stop trying to fit when you were born to stand out. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up. It's time to rise up. It's time to stop living like average is okay. You got one life, one shot, one chance. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to keep making excuses, or are you going to make a move? Are you going to keep settling for average, or are you going to demand excellence? Are you going to keep watching others win, or are you going to become the one that people watch? It's not about hype. It's about habits. It's not about luck. It's about labor. It's not about labor. It's not about chance. It's about choice. And every day you choose average or great, quit or keep going, comfort or grow, fear or faith. It's on you, not your parents, not your boss, not your background. You. And if you're still breathing, then there's still time to rise. There's still time to change the story. There's still time to break free from average and step into who you were born to be. Everybody wants success, but very few are willing to put in the work every single day. The truth that most people avoid is this: success is not a one-time payment. It's not something you earn once and keep forever. Success is rent, and that rent is due every single day. The problem is, too many people want to achieve success, but they want to work for it once. They want to grind for a week and then relax for a month. They want to give effort in the beginning and then expect the rewards to last forever. But it doesn't work like that. If you stop working, the success starts slipping. If you stop growing, your results start shrinking. You have to wake up every morning with the same fire, the same hunger, the same discipline. No matter how far you come, success doesn't care about your past victories. It only cares about what you're doing right now. That's why consistency is more powerful than talent. Consistency is more powerful than excitement. Anybody can be motivated for a day, but can you still show up when you're tired? Can you still give your best when no one's watching? Can you still execute the plan when things get boring or uncomfortable? That's what separates the real winners from the rest. It's not the big moves that make you successful. It's the small daily actions repeated without fail. You've got to understand, success is a process, not an event. It's a lifestyle. It's the way you live, not just something you chase when it's convenient. It's in the way you do the small things, the way you speak to yourself when you fail, the way you train when no one's in the room, the way you handle pressure when it's not going your way. The process is not glamorous. It's not fun every day. It's lonely. It's repetitive. It's hard. But if you want to win, you've got to fall in love with that process. You've got to embrace the grind. You've got to work even when you don't feel like it. Most people stop when it gets tough. Most people back off when it gets uncomfortable. But the successful ones, they lean in. They push harder. They find another gear because they know something most people don't. Success rewards those who endure. It rewards those who persist long after the excitement is faded. If you think you're going to hit your goals just because you showed up once or twice, you're lying to yourself. If you think greatness is handed out like free samples, you're in for a rude awakening. You have to build a mindset that refuses to quit. You have to build discipline so strong that it doesn't depend on how you feel. You think I feel like getting up at 3 a.m. every day? You think I feel like grinding when I'm tired, when I'm sore, when I'm hurting? No, but I do it anyway. Because my goals don't care about my feelings. My dreams don't care about my excuses. And neither do yours. You either put in the work or you stay where you are. You got to show up every single day like your future depends on it, because it does. You got to put in that daily effort, even when nobody claps for you, even when nobody believes in you, even when you don't see results yet. Because success doesn't happen overnight. It takes months. It takes years. And every day you skip is a day further from your breakthrough. Every day you slack is a day someone else catches up. Somebody out there is hungrier than you. Somebody out there is waking up earlier. staying up later, sacrificing more. You can't afford to be average. You can't afford to get comfortable. You have to push yourself beyond your limits every single day. Success is not just about doing what's required. It's about doing more than what's expected. It's about staying longer, working harder, caring deeper. It's about doing the right thing even when nobody's watching. You can't just be a part-time warrior and expect full-time results. You can't chase greatness with half-hearted effort. You gotta be all in. Every moment, every action, every decision. The clock is ticking. Life is moving. Time is passing whether you grind or not. You can't wait for the right mood, the right season, the perfect motivation. There will never be a perfect time. The only perfect time is now. Right now, this moment, this grind, this sacrifice. That's where success is built. That's where champions are made. Not in the spotlight, not on the stage, but in the dark, in the unseen hours. In the days when you could have quit, but you did. You got to understand, once you reach one level, that's not the end. That's the beginning of the next. When you climb one mountain, another one shows up. When you reach a goal, a bigger one should take its place. That's how you grow. That's how you evolve. That's how you stay relevant. The world keeps moving. If you stand still, you fall behind. Success isn't something you own. It's something you fight to keep every single day. There's no shortcut. There's no hack. There's only hard work, patience, focus, and repetition. If you're willing to do the work when it's hard, if you're willing to keep going when it's painful, if you're willing to show up even when it's boring, that's when you earn it. That's when you gain the right to call yourself successful. Because real success is not given. It's earned through blood, sweat, and resilience. You want the dream life? Then build the daily habits. You want to be legendary? Then do legendary work. Consistently. No breaks, no excuses. Just discipline, drive, and dedication. When others take shortcuts, you stay the course. When others give up, you dig deeper. When others slow down, you speed up. That's the difference. That's the gap between good and great. That's what it takes to live the life most people only talk about. You think comfort is your friend, but it's not. Comfort is the enemy. Comfort is the trap. You think staying where you are, doing what you've always done, is keeping you safe. But it's not. It's keeping you stuck. It's killing your potential slowly, silently, day by day. See, comfort doesn't scream at you. It doesn't warn you. It doesn't hit you all at once. It creeps in. It convinces you that good enough is good enough. It makes you believe that staying the same is okay. But let me tell you something. If you're not growing, you're dying. And you cannot grow in comfort. The comfort zone is where dreams go to die. That's where goals get buried. That's where passion gets replaced with excuses. How many times have you told yourself, I'll do it later, just because it felt hard right now? How many times have you chosen sleep over hustle, distraction over focus, fear over faith? That's comfort talking. That's your comfort zone pulling you back into average. That's your comfort zone trying to rob you of your future. You gotta understand, greatness doesn't live in comfort. You won't find your purpose where it's easy. You won't discover your strength where you're safe. You've gotta step out. You've gotta take the risk. You've gotta get uncomfortable. It's in discomfort that you grow. It's in pressure that diamonds are formed. It's in fire that gold is purified. So stop running from the hard. Stop hiding from the stretch. Stop avoiding the pain that comes with growth. That pain is the price you pay for progress. When you stay comfortable, you settle. You stop pushing. You stop improving. And eventually you start losing. You start losing your edge, your hunger, your momentum. You start looking around and wondering why nothing's changing. It's because you haven't changed. Your environment hasn't changed. Your effort hasn't changed. You've been living on repeat, doing the same things, thinking the same thoughts, expecting a new result. But nothing changes until you change. And change begins the moment you step out of your comfort zone. You say you want success, but your habits say you want comfort. You say you want to level up, but your actions scream you're scared to fail. You say you're ready to rise, but the truth is you're still sleeping on your potential. Wake up. The life you want, the dreams you have, they're outside the boundaries of comfort. You're gonna have to do things you've never done. You're gonna have to say no to old pattern, old friends, old excuses. You're gonna have to stretch until it hurts. But that's how growth works. You don't build muscle lifting feathers. You don't build character avoiding difficulty. You got to do what's hard. You got to go through the struggle. You got to confront the fear, because fear is the gatekeeper to your next level. And the only way through fear is forward. If you wait until you're no longer scared to move, you'll be standing still forever. If you wait until it's comfortable to act, you'll never take action. If you wait until everything's certain, you'll never begin. I'm telling you, your future is not waiting inside your comfort zone. It's outside, in the unknown, in the stretch, in the risk. That's where your greatness lives. That's where your best self is hiding. But you gotta go get it. You got to fight through resistance. You gotta deal with failure. You got to endure rejection. You gotta show up when you don't feel like it. You gotta be bold enough to look stupid, to feel awkward, to be uncomfortable. Those are the signs you're growing. You see, people want transformation, but they don't want transition. They want to arrive without the journey. They want the result without the process. But the process is where the power is. The process is where you find out who you really are. The process is where your weakness is exposed and your strength is forged. You got to be willing to walk through the storm. You got to be willing to suffer a little, to sacrifice, to struggle, because that's what molds a champion. Let me be real with you. Comfort has never produced anything legendary. Nobody remembers the person who stays safe. Nobody celebrates the one who never tried. You don't build a legacy by playing it small. You don't change the world by staying the same. You don't inspire others by living afraid. You've got to be willing to disrupt your comfort zone. You've got to be willing to lose sleep, take risks, bet on yourself, because no one's coming to save you. It's on you. Look around, look at where you are right now. Are you proud of it? Are you fulfilled? Or have you just gotten used to it? Too many people mistake comfort for success. Just because you're not broke doesn't mean you're wealthy. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're effective. Just because you've settled down doesn't mean you've stepped up. You've got to stop measuring your life by how easy it feels and start measuring it by how much you're growing. You got to ask yourself every day, am I stretching or am I settling? Am I building or am I breaking down? Am I getting stronger or getting softer? Am I stepping forward or standing still? Your answers will tell you if you're living in your comfort zone. And if you are, you got to break out. You got to shock your system. You got to challenge yourself in new ways. You got to find that edge and live on it. Because that edge, that's where the magic happens. That's where dreams are born and realities are rewritten. That's where you go from who you are to who you were meant to be. Not because it was easy, but because you were willing to do the hard thing. Because you said, I refuse to let fear decide my future. I refuse to let comfort dictate my destiny. I refuse to die full of potential. I will live full out. I will go all in. And that's what it's going to take. All of you. Every day, every moment. No backing down. No hiding. Just rising again and again until you break through. Everything starts in the mind. Everything. Before it happens in your life, it has to happen in your head. Before you win in reality, you got to win in your imagination. If your mind is defeated, your body will follow. If your thoughts are weak, your actions will be weak. Your actions will be weak. If you believe it's impossible, you won't even try. That's why the most powerful tool you've got isn't your muscles, it's not your money, it's not your education, it's your mindset. Your mind will either be your prison or your passport. Your mind will either hold you down or lift you up. And the crazy part, you get to choose. I've seen people with all the talent in the world fail. Why? Because they were mentally soft. They were strong on the outside, but weak in the mind. And I've seen people with every obstacle stacked against them. No money, no connections, no support, still win a fist one. Why? Because their mind was unbreakable. They believed when no one else did. They kept going when everything told them to stop. That's the difference between the successful and the stuck. Not resource, mindset. Not luck, mindset. Not magic, my magic. You gotta protect your mind like your life depends on it. Because it does. You gotta feed it truth. You gotta flood it with belief. You've gotta cut out the lies, the doubt, the negativity. You've gotta stop rehearsing failure and start visualizing victory. You gotta speak life into your vision every single day. You gotta stop saying, oh, what if I fall? And start saying, what if I fly? Stop saying, I don't think I can, and start saying, oh, watch me. You've got to become your own hype man, your own motivator, your own coach, because your mind is always listening. Every word you speak, every thought you entertain, every story you tell yourself, your mind takes it all in. And what you feed it, it becomes. If you tell yourself you're not good enough, your mind believes you. If you tell yourself you always fail, your mind will find ways to prove you right. But if you tell yourself you're a winner, if you tell yourself you're unstoppable, if you tell yourself, I've got this, your mind will rise to the occasion. It will help you find a way. It will go to work for you, not against you. It's time to take control of that inner dialogue, because most of us are losing battles in our head before we even start fighting in real life. You want to succeed? You want to level up? Then rewire your mindset. Reprogram the system. Replace doubt with discipline. Replace fear with faith. Replace I can't with oh, how can I? You've got to stop being your own worst enemy and start becoming your biggest believer. You've got to realize that your mind doesn't care what's true. It only cares what you repeat. Say something long enough, think it long enough, believe it deep enough, and your mind will make it your reality. That's why repetition is so powerful. That's why affirmation works. That's why visualization is not just for athletes or CEOs. It's for anybody trying to rewrite their story. You've got to see it before you live it. You got to feel it before you touch it. You got to believe it before you build it. And don't get it twisted. It's not about ignoring reality. It's not about pretending everything's fine when it's not. It's about choosing the lens through which you see your challenges. It's about deciding that even though things are hard, you are harder. It's about refusing to let circumstances shape your identity. You might be broke, but you're not broken. You might be behind. You might be behind, but you're not finished. You might be tired, but you're not weak. You are more than what's around you, but only if you choose to believe that. Let me ask you something. What are you allowing into your mind on a daily basis? What are you reading? Who are you listening to? What voices are shaping your beliefs? Because if all you hear is doubt, drama, and destruction, don't be surprised when you start thinking small. Don't be surprised when you sabotage your own progress. You've got to get intentional about what you let in. You've got to guard your mental gates like your dream depends on it. Because it does. You got to wake up every day and train your mind like a soldier. You've got to prepare for battle. Life is going to hit you. It's going to test you. It's going to come after your peace, your confidence, your identity. And if your mind ain't ready, you'll fold. You'll give up. You'll retreat. But if your mind is strong, if your mind is focused, if your mind is rooted in truth, there's nothing that can stop you. You'll take the hit and keep moving. You'll fail and get back up. You'll hear a no and still knock on the next door. Everything you want starts in the mind. You want to lose weight? Start in your mind. You want to build a business? Start in your mind. You want to restore your marriage? Fix your finances, chase your calling. Start in your mind. Because once you believe it's possible, you'll start behaving like it's possible. And once your behavior changes, your reality has no choice but to catch up. But it's not a one-time decision. This is not something you do once and forget. This is a daily practice. You've got to renew your mind every morning. You've got to check your thoughts throughout the day. You've got to flip the script when negativity creeps in. You've got to silence the noise when fear starts shouting. You've got to speak life even when it's hard, even when it's hard, even when it feels fake, even when you're tired. Because the mind is a muscle, and if you don't train it, it will atrophy. It will default to fear. It will give in to doubt. But if you train it, it will obey you. It will serve you. It will become the engine that drives you forward, no matter what. So don't underestimate your mind. Don't ignore it. Don't neglect it. Master it. And once you do, there's not a door in this world that will stay shut. There's not a mountain you can't climb. There's not a future you can't build. The difference between who you are and who you want to be, it lives in your mindset. You change that, you change everything. Yeah. Everybody wants success, but nobody wants pain. Everybody wants growth, but nobody wants struggle. Everybody wants the breakthrough, but they don't want to break down. Listen to me. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is the proof that something is happening. Pain means the process is working. You got to stop running from it. You got to stop acting like pain is a sign to quit. Pain is not your signal to give up. It's your signal to level up. See, what most people don't realize is pain is the passport to greatness. You don't become a champion without going train through something. You don't become mentally tough by staying comfortable. You don't grow by playing it safe. You grow when it hurts. You grow when it stretches you. You grow when you keep going, even when every part of you is screaming to stop. That's what separates winners from everyone else. They don't run from pain, they use it. You want to get stronger? Embrace the pain. You want to be successful? Embrace the setbacks, the failures, the lonely nights. That's the price. Nobody escapes it. The people at the top didn't avoid pain. They endured it. They took the hits. They cried in silence. They worked when they were exhausted. They kept moving when everything around them was falling apart. And that pain, that's what made them. That's what gave them grit. That's what gave them perspective. That's what gave them the edge. You got to learn to thank pain. Yeah, I said it, thank it. Because pain will teach you things success never will. Pain will humble you. Pain will reveal your character. Pain will show you who's real and who's fake. Pain will strip away the ego and leave only the truth. And the truth is, you're stronger than you think. You're more capable than you believe. But you won't find that strength until you get tested. Stop praying for the pain to disappear and start praying for the strength to push through it. Stop asking why it's happening and start asking what it's teaching you. Because everything has a lesson. Every setback, every loss, every moment of discomfort, it's all preparing you. You can't see it now, but that struggle is setting you up for something greater. That pain you're going through is the process reshaping you into the person you were called to be. And let me be real. Sometimes the pain won't make sense. Sometimes it'll feel unfair. Sometimes it'll feel like you're being punished. But you got to trust that pressure is part of the process. The pressure makes diamonds. The heat purifies gold. And the storm grows the roots deeper. You don't get to the other side of greatness without going through the fire. Too many of you want to quit just because it hurts. You want to throw in the towel just because it's hard. But what you don't realize is the pain you're avoiding is the exact thing that's going to push you into your purpose. The resistance is what's going to build your resilience. You got to flip your mindset. Pain is not punishment, it's preparation. Pain is not there to destroy you, it's there to develop you. So next time it hurts, lean in. Don't run. Don't hide. Don't hide. Lean in. Feel it. Use it. Let it push you. Let it remind you that you're still alive, still fighting, still in the game. Because if you can go through pain and not break, you become unstoppable. If you can stay focused when it hurts, you become dangerous. If you can push through the fire and keep your vision, there's nothing that can stop you. The ones who succeed are not the ones who avoid pain. They're the ones who rise through it. They're the ones who keep showing up, who keep believing, who keep grinding, even when it feels like everything is against them. That's the level you got to reach. That's the hunger you got to develop. That's the mindset that says, oh, this pain will not break me. It will build me. And once you survive it, once you overcome it, once you grow from it, the pain becomes your power. It becomes your story. It becomes your strength. You'll look back one day and say, and that moment didn't destroy me. It made me. That pain was the turning point. That struggle was my awakening. And that's the moment everything changes. When you stop fearing pain and start using it. Everybody wants to win, but most people are waiting to feel like it. They're waiting to feel motivated, waiting to feel inspired, waiting to feel ready. But let me tell you something. If you're waiting on a feeling, you're already behind. Motivation is cool, but it's not consistent. Motivation might wake you up one day, but discipline gets you up every day. Discipline don't care how you feel. Discipline don't wait for sunshine. Discipline shows up in the rain, in the dark, when it's cold, when you're tired, when you're alone. Discipline is what separates the average from the great. You think the greats always feel like grinding? You think champions always feel like showing up early and staying late? You think top performers wake up every morning night and excited to do the hard stuff? No, but they do it anyway. Why? Because their goals matter more than their feelings. Their purpose outweighs their excuses. They're not driven by mood, they're driven by mission. I hear people say, I just don't feel like it today. So what? Feelings come and go. You don't get results from how you feel. You get results from what you do. Stop being emotional about your grind. Stop negotiating with your goals. Stop letting your mood decide your work ethic. You made a promise to yourself, now follow through. Discipline is doing what you said you do, long after the mood you said it ends left. You see, when you rely on motivation, you become a slave to circumstances. But when you build discipline, you become free. Motivation waits for inspiration. Discipline creates progress. Motivation fades. Discipline compounds. Motivation talks. Discipline delivers. And here's the truth. Most of the time, you won't feel like doing the work. Guess the trap. Your feelings will lie to you. Your feelings will say, take it easy today. Your feelings will say, sleep in. Your feelings will say, skip it just this once. But your future doesn't care about your feelings. Your destiny doesn't care about your comfort. You've got to become the kind of person who does it regardless. You show up when it's inconvenient. You do the reps when no one's watching. You put in the time when no one claps. That's discipline. It's waking up before the sun, not because you want to, but because you got work to do. It's choosing the gym over the couch, the grind over the excuse, the goal over the distraction. That's what it takes. Discipline is boring. Discipline is repetitive, but discipline gets results. You've got dream. You've got to sacrifice. You've got goals. You've got to structure your life around them. You got a vision. Then your habits better line up with it, because dreams without discipline are just fantasies. Everybody talks about what they want. Few people back it up with action. Few people are willing to say no to what feels good right now in order to say yes to what they want most. That's the difference between potential and progress. I'm not talking about being perfect. I'm talking about being consistent. Discipline isn't about doing everything right all the time. It's about not quitting when you mess up. It's about getting back up after you fall. It's about saying, the day wasn't my best, but tomorrow I show up again. That's the mindset. You don't need motivation every day. You need a standard. A standard that says, this is who I am. This is what I do. No matter how I feel. Some of y'all are watching everybody else move forward while you're stuck. Not because you're not talented, not because you're not smart, but because you're waiting to feel like it. Enough waiting, enough wishing, enough wishing. It's time to move. It's time to be the kind of person who doesn't just dream, but builds. Who doesn't just start, but finishes. Who doesn't just hope, but works. The results you want are on the other side of your discipline. And once you master that, there's nothing you can't reach. You can't become great hanging around mediocrity. You can't build a champion mindset when you're surrounded by people who are comfortable losing. I'm telling you right now, your environment matters. The people you roll with, the voices you listen to, the energy you allow around you, it all shapes who you become. If you're serious about leveling up, you've got to check your circle. Because if your circle doesn't push you, it's not a circle. It's a cage. Some of you are grinding hard, but you're still stuck because the people around you don't believe in your vision. You're trying to fly, but your crew is pulling you back to the ground. Every time you speak life into your dreams, they speak doubt. Every time you try to grow, they remind you who you used to be. Listen to me. That's dead weight, and you will never reach your destiny dragging dead weight. You've got to be intentional. You've got to protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. You need people who see the giant in you, not just the flaws. People who don't just clap when you win, but challenge you when you're slipping. You need a tribe that's hungry like you, driven like you, focused like you. You can't be the only one in your crew dreaming big. You can't be the only one sacrificing. You can't be the only one grinding. Iron sharpens iron, but if all you got around you is wood, you're gonna burn out. I'm not saying cut people off just to feel better than them. I'm saying sometimes growth requires distance, not because you're better, but because you're becoming. You're becoming something they might not understand yet. And that's okay. Love them, pray for them, but don't let them slow you down, because you've got somewhere to be. You got a mission to fulfill. And you can't afford to stay stuck trying to carry everyone with you who refuses to grow. You need mentors. You need coaches. You need accountability partners. People who've been where you're trying to. People who won't let you settle for less. People who will check you when you're slipping, not because they're judging you, but because they believe in you. That's love. Real love holds you accountable. Real love says, or better than this, real love says, let's get up and keep going. And hear me, greatness leaves clues. Success is contagious when you're close enough to catch it. You start picking up habits, routines, and disciplines just by being in the room with people who are doing it at a high level. That's why you've got to get in better rooms. Go where the pressure is. Go where you're the least experienced, where you're the one learning, not leading. Because that pressure, it'll pull something out of you didn't even know was there. It'll refine your character. Some of you are the hardest worker in your group, and that's your problem. You're too comfortable being the best among average. You don't grow when you're the biggest fish in a small pond. You grow when you're around people who make you question if you're doing enough. People who force you to elevate just to keep up. That's the room you want to be in. You got to choose your circle with the same precision you choose your goals. Don't just accept whoever comes around. Test their spirit. Do they speak life or death? Do they multiply your energy or drain it? Do they challenge your laziness or enable it? The people around you are either building your vision or breaking it. There's no neutral. When you align with greatness, your standards rise. Your mindset shifts. You start thinking bigger, moving smarter, acting bolder. You stop making excuses because everyone around you is executing. You stop wasting time because nobody in your circle is wasting theirs. That's the power of proximity. That's the influence of greatness. You got to become allergic to average. You got to reject anything, anyone that pulls you backward. Because the truth is, if you hang with 5 broke people, you'll be the 6th. If you hang with 5 lazy people, you'll be the 6th. If you hang with 5 unfocused people, you'll be the 6th. But if you hang with 5 winners, 5 doers, 5 warriors, you'll rise whether you like it or not.